Leaderonomics show. Today we have a fantastic show. We have Supratim Bose, former company group chair of Johnson Johston Medical, here with us. Now, Supratim has had a checkered career where he's done numerous roles from India to all over the world, traveling with Johnson Johnson in multiple functions, roles, and division, ultimately becoming the most senior leader out here with Johnson Johnson. Tell us, you've been in leadership, in the leadership space for so long. What's your definition of leadership?
I think in some ways I have realized that leadership would be all about creating an organization which is powered by very talented people. And if you grow people, you will grow business. So I would say in one way is grow people, grow business is my definition of leadership.
Is it how you lived up your leadership in terms of when you were at Johnson Johnson and when you were running a business, the medical business there, right? Is that how you ran the business?
Absolutely. To me, I think everything that happens in the organization depends on the perspectives of the people who are within that organization. Okay. You have people and talent with the right perspective. There is no doubt in my mind that you will succeed. Because given a situation, the right perspectives always gives you a better solution. Right. And therefore, you have to find the people who will understand the situation better, will do the right analysis, will try to find the right option, and then select the best one. So to me, it was all about growing people, getting the best and the brightest talent, people with the right capabilities needed in the organization, and then letting them take the decision. So to me, it was all about people all through for any decision that was made in the organization.
Now, many leaders say that they have no time to firstly find the right people and then grow them. What would your take be on that? Because leaders are very busy people, right? And there's so many operational concerns to take care of.
I think I agree with that in totally, that you can be as busy as you want to be, doing things that may not really be linked to the outcome that you're looking for. So when leaders are busy, the first thing they have to understand and say is, what is that which will make the greatest difference to my organization and to my business? So in many ways, you have therefore to understand that if I believe people are the most important thing, then it should become a focus automatically. Right. So to me, probably that's where it comes from.
So it starts from the leader then?
Yeah. So if I believe that people make a difference. Now, if I don't spend time with people, how will I make a difference to the organization?
So spending time with people is one thing, but how do you grow people?
I think the first thing to realize and understand is that you have the right type of people that your organization needs at the time that you're looking for in that given environment or that given situation. So I think the first thing, therefore, is involvement in actually getting the right talent. And I think it starts from there. So the involvement starts from when you first get the talent and making sure that you are part of that process. So if you don't get in the right talent, you will obviously not be able to get the people, whatever the development programs you do. So getting people in there, then understanding now what are the capabilities they have, and what are the capability gaps, if any, that exist
in the organization.
Yes. And then trying and saying, how do I give these people the experiences, or how do I give them the opportunity to experience situations where they will add to this capability. So that means again you must be involved, because now you're talking about organization fit, you're talking about moving people in an environment. So as you do this, you may always face situations where other leaders may not agree, right? But you have to now therefore work with the group and say, this is the right fit for X person for two reasons. One, he may be in future be a good leader. Two, if he gets this capability, he will definitely be a better rounded leader, right? So therefore the development part now comes in. The third part is now how to continuously grow this guy. And therefore to understand each time how is the next experience will be, which will add. Okay, so it should not be a repeat. So I always give this example, was the first interview in J&J was with,
you had an interview.
Yes, yeah. It was the most unique experience. So I was in this room of Mr. Vittal Palekar, then managing director, and he asked me a question, how many years experience do you have? So I said, 3 years. So he said, you have 3 years experience or 3 years of experience? So I thought my English was pretty good, not outstanding. So I said, I probably didn't get your question right, Mr. Bose. You have 3 years experience or 3 years of experience? Now I was totally confused.
Yeah.
So I said, Mr. Palekar, maybe I'm not surely understanding. But so he said, Supratim, I have people who say they have 17 years experience, but it's actually 1 year of experience multiplied 17 times. And I have people who have 5 years of experience, that is 5 years of different experiences. And that has stuck in my mind. So when you grow a person, you must make sure that each year, at least at a minimum, is adding something to that person which is going to make him a better leader. You cannot ever say that, oh, he has got so many years of experience. It makes no difference. That's why even in the interview process, when I ask people questions, I go year by year. So it's never about asking, what do you do? What are you good at? It's what did you do in 1982? What did you do in 83? And what were your contributions? So I think that comes the growth part of the development. And the last obviously is, there will be difficult decisions to make each time. You should always be open to mentoring and coaching these people. One has to realize that the external environment may not always be best judged, irrespective of how good your strat plan is. Something is going to change. And that should be the most important thing for mentoring and coaching. Because a young leader is prepared with his experiences and may not have the experience of a fast changing or something happens. And therefore that part comes in play. So I would say the development and then coaching and mentoring, I would put as a very important part if you want to grow somebody to be a leader. And last is obviously retention. So you must have the gut feel, the sense, the involvement to say, is Mr. X going to stay or not stay in my company? If he is feel not stay, what is it? What is it not making him happy? So I would say therefore the leader's involvement in this, if you have a great team, you're going to get to your goal. You lose people, it is more tough. So it's, I believe, personal perspective and belief. Some people believe you can go buy talent, which is possible, by the way. So I wouldn't argue with that. But I believe if you grow somebody, he most understands what the company needs and therefore he contributes more. So that's why I think without involvement, my personal leadership belief is I cannot think how can somebody get extraordinary results without doing this, okay? So I think the perspective also is what is the leader's expectation? Okay, so to me, if I don't go 2 times or 3 times faster than the marketplace, I don't think I've done a good job. That's my personal belief. So I will never be happy with 12% or 11% growth if the market is growing at 7%. That's not my philosophy. Okay, is it right or wrong? We can always debate. So if the market grows at 11, I want to grow at 22.
And you've actually successfully grown the medical business in Johnson Johston when you were company group chair significantly, right?
Sure.
I mean, what are some of the drivers you used to grow this business so significantly?
I think to me there are some very simple things to be done. Some may think so generic in mind, but it is how you go about doing it. So I think the first and foremost understanding is clearly understanding what is the market opportunity and not trying to look at history or what's historical
so really
numbers.
Uncovering the opportunities.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I think the first thing is that never go by historical trends. I don't believe in it. I don't look at it also. Okay. So I always start with an opportunity and potential. I never want to say market share and all that. Doesn't. You can have 100% market share with 1% penetration means nothing to me. I better have 10% market share with 100% penetration. So I think that's the first part of the leadership thing. Once you have the potential, it is very important to therefore understand what of this I can realize. Okay. So I always say, learn to realize the true promise. Okay. So it's become like a, quotation all over. What is the true promise now? This is a huge, right? 1 billion people, but everything may not be. So which are the group and what can I realize out of it? So once you know what is the realization possible, then the third thing is to say, how can I make that happen? So people come back and then people say, yeah, this. So moment people say something to me, let's say we'll go there in 5 years. I said, no, I want it in 2 years. Okay. So the next thing is always accelerating and turbocharging growth, right? So I say turbocharge growth. And the best way to tell that is exactly the simple question. Whatever they tell you, half the number of years and ask them what do you need, right? So if they say I need 100 people, okay, but you must get to this point, because if you get the business to grow faster, you are going to get to the bottom line needs and all that, okay? Of course, size and all that matters. So that's the third way of looking at it. The fourth way of in this important thing is understanding the customer and what will really make a customer understand what you need, right? So this awareness of the real needs, the real insights of the marketplace, and how do you trigger it, okay? That becomes very, very important. In the environment of medical, therefore, in that space of customers is, who are the customers? Are they aware of your products? Are they aware what they do? So customer awareness, both patients and physicians, becomes very, very important. The second bit is the infrastructure, right? So you have to create the accessibility, right, in healthcare. So some countries, some markets may have very developed infrastructure. There all you need to do is train the people and they will provide the service, right? Some may not have it. So there you have to work with the government, you have to work with the healthcare authorities to literally create the accessibility. Find a way to improve hospital structure to do particular type of surgery, right? Next is obviously looking at and saying, is this what we really want as a product in this marketplace? So it is classic case of affordability, which is very important in Asia. So you must create and understand, you may have the greatest product, but if it is just outpriced, nobody is going to get there, okay? So you can't get there with this. So you have to find the right product mix, you have to find the right pricing to be able to get there. Okay? I think in looking at the marketplace, therefore, you have to understand what will shape the market from what it is today to where you want to go. And you must find solutions for each of them and invest accordingly. So focus, and focus on the right resource. So that get back to my point, I've learned, focus on people, 80% of your work is done. So whatever happens, every strategy I build, people comes first, right? And then products in medical business. Product people, you can put it here and there. But I think between these two, you must make sure that you have resourced both this the right way. And again, I go back and say people more important, because you find the right person, he'll find you the right product.